A world suffused with life, inhabited by a multitude of peoples, rich and poor. A world of birth, growth, death, and all the changes those imply. This was the world of Tyr. However, this world and the sun that shone on it are dead, replaced with barriers that hold back the darkness, and even worse. In the darkness, terrifying things circle the 10 pillars, those last bastions of life in the blasted world of Tyr after the shattering. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Tyr, A Simple Job, as we play New Fete, Ancient Fate. That one is for you, Debbie. Enjoy. My name is Galway. I am the GM for tonight, and I'm also one of the founders and the program director of Helpful Goat Gaming, a small independent game design and game content creation community through which we come to you today. Also, any people out in the audience, let me know if I'm either really quiet or really loud. My computer completely readjusted my input volumes on everything today at random. It's spreading from Lena. It's great. So I was like, cool. So I tried to adjust it back to where it was, but before we get started tonight, before I turn things over to amazing players and let them tell the story of this particular party that they were invited to it and yet also crashing it, so we'll see. Many compliments in chat for Sam's outfit, very deserved. Yeah, before we get to the story tonight, quickly, a few announcements. As I mentioned, we are a game content and game design community. If you'd like to join the heart of that community, ! Discord in the chat. We'll get you a link to join our Discord. We do all kinds of things there. We talk about our content. We talk about gaming. We play lots of games. Rachel reads to us in an attempt to teach us literacy. It's not working so far. We're also not actually sure if she's literate, so she may just be making things up.
I'm that good.
Yeah.
Go make millions. What are you doing?
If you would like to get notified whenever we go live, we normally stream at least once a week, I would say, here on Twitch. You can follow us for completely free here at twitch.tv/helpfulgoat. You can check out our archives. Just look for Helpful Goat Gaming over on YouTube. And if you'd like to support us telling more of these stories, trying new things, having better images for overlays, but I will never promise you more professionality.
We're doing all right tonight.
The night is young, Heather.
Yeah, I know.
So young.
You can support us a variety of ways. You can share or subscribe to us here on Twitch. You can subscribe for free with Twitch Prime if you have Amazon Prime. You can use !coffee, KO-FI in the chat, or check out the link in the description to go to our coffee page and support us directly. And if you would like some merch with your fiscal donations to Helpful Goat, !merch can get you that very mug. The one that Elise is holding. She will ship it to you. And also the beautiful...
It may be full of tea from a few days ago.
From
something
today.
Similar to
I mean, once you get
one.
it.
Yeah. And then also holding up the beautiful artwork of McKeck Tumbledown from our Dom and Dragons podcast that Chelsea did. All of those help us, help support the artists who produce this amazing art. So check it out. We add new stuff pretty regularly. It's been a little while, but I've got some stuff queued up, so check those out. With all of that, those are the supporting us ways. Much more important in terms of support, !donate. Right now we are pointing at the Trevor Project, benefiting LGBTQ youth in America. As always, we encourage you, if you follow the links, if you have the time, the energy, the emotional resources, please do so. Please educate yourself. Please sort of absorb some of the challenges that many of these communities face. And then if you have the resources that you want to donate, whether that be time and volunteering or money, etc., we encourage you to look for a local charity. Donations to those do a lot more direct impact in your community, and also have a lot harder... Okay, thank you. Auto-modding.
Sorry.
There we go. Now it's a tier stream. And also, local charities have a lot harder time fundraising compared to national charities. So please, if you have a minute, check that out. Look that up and see what you can do. I don't think we have any other programming this week, because it's a tier week and we put it on Tuesday instead of Friday. So I think we're pretty much clear the rest of the week. However, that often means that we're going to be doing some events in the Discord. So, join the Discord, come check stuff out. I think I have covered all of this in what may be record time for me. And with that, I will kick off introductions. As I mentioned, my name is Goldman. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I am the GM for tonight. So I'm not going to introduce all of the characters that I'm going to be playing and their pronouns. It would take a very long time and would involve massive spoilers, probably. But with that, I will turn it over to Chris.
Hi, I'm Chris. My pronouns are she, her, and I play Mook. And her pronouns are he, no, she, her. I can't ever get it right. Every stream, I'm confused.
You know what? She
I
can use different pronouns sometimes, and we will support her if she does.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, just, you know what? Just any pronouns, because that just seems to be safer, since I can't ever remember my own or the character I play, because, I'm what day is it?
Tuesday, apparently.
Chris, are you okay?
No, apparently I'm not. Like I was, and then the moment my name was said, no, it went away.
You were like, yeah, looking forward to this. Good, we're good. Hey, Chris. Oh, shit.
Shit.
What, dude?
So I'm just gonna do what I'm best at and just pass it to my power bottom.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I definitely haven't just been eating and have a mouthful of food.
I'm just like, I'm Rachel.
Just, it's fine. I didn't have time to make dinner and I'm pregnant, so I'm just like, food, snacks, and so it's fine. Anyway, I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I play Gramps, who uses he, him, his. And he's a real sexy beast, if you're down for a good time. And I'm gonna pass to Sam.
Hello, everyone. Hi. Yes, I am normally this white. I play Hux. He uses he, him pronouns. I use he, they. And I'm going to pass it that way to Heather.
Hello, I'm Heather.
Waved
My
back.
pronouns are she, her, and I'm playing Ren, who everybody calls Lady, and his pronouns are he, him. And I'll go straight up
Rachel, hi.
to Elise.
I just want to
start.
Hey. She's like, why are you doing? Because literally 3 seconds ago you waved at Heather. I just wanted to wave.
But I was like, wait, I already did it. Is Heather passing to me? Heather said her character's real name, so then I was like, I don't even fucking remember my character's real name. So I was looking at the character sheet, and you said my name, and then you waved, and I was like, whoa. And so
back to Rachel. Hey everyone,
I'm
I'm
Rachel.
I'm Elise. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I play Mix, whose pronouns are she, her, hers. A Galway.
Good. I think we managed to really like pull in the tier intros energy right at the end there, just in time. Yeah. So everybody, who would like to read poem from Chelsea and then kick off recap? I believe it is also posted in our Discord channel, if that is easier for people than
I will
finding it in Twitch
read.
chat.
Okay. Amongst the glitz and glamour of the soiree, so many mysteries, paper faces on display, new alliances and growing threats form as truths, motives, and plots unfold. The Duchess's entrance is breathtaking to behold. The story continues to captivate and intrigue with each and every word. Much love, you lot. You are seen and heard. Yay!
Thank you, Chelsea.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Also, outstanding Masquerade reference.
Mhm.
And yes, so with that, what did you all get up to last time?
We went to a party. And met some people
Yes,
that I'm not sure we're glad or not to have met.
this is true. I have 3 pages of notes,
Yeah.
more than
Do
in a
it.
while.
I think
Uh,
all mine distills down to the last sentence, which is, oh shit, Samelin is the seeker captain.
Yeah, that was and the Duchess appears at the top of the grand staircase at the end too. That also happened. But before that, we started on the boat. There was a small confrontation. Not much was learned. Yeah, Gramps asked Mix about bombing the tower. Jonas is who greeted us. Jonas something. Okay.
Yes, I believe.
We
Jonas
brought in the
Tavendale,
stuff.
Mr.
Mr. Jonas Tavendale. We brought in the stuff from the boats. He had outfits for us. We talked about him or his opinion on the Duchess and that she's allowing servants to participate in the Fete. Mook developed the theory that we were being allowed to participate so that we could be sacrifices. Jonas has met the Duchess. He was uncomfortable at her questions about what she looks and acts like, but
He's in love.
He's in love. He's got a little crush. But iconic purple eyes. And then he also had nice things to say about Cedric, the guy that the really graceful guy.
Yes.
Mhm.
Cedric
Love.
Albentur.
Alantor is the valet to Duchess Blog, and so sort of functionally the leader of her household, in terms of managing the servants, etc., and the one who technically hired you. Y'all kind of hired yourselves. You were sort of like, hey, do you need something smuggled? And he's like, this isn't normally how this goes, but yeah, sure, why not?
And then in the kitchen there was a lot of chaos, lots of caterers from various gem garden houses, people who recognize Gramps. He was doing a lot of finger guns at people. We delivered the crate, and then went and got our outfits. And by the time we came back to look at the crate to see if we could get into it to see what was inside, it was already gone from there.
Huck sent his spirit dog to chase it down.
Yes.
Sniff it down.
Yes. And then when we went out into the party, we immediately noticed, Mix immediately noticed all the Sparkcraft, specifically the silver light, which is like sunlight. I have a question. Are we playing in a world where sunlight hurts drow? Are you You're muted.
Go away, you're
Right,
muted.
push to talk. This is why I do that, though, so that I don't leave you all on not push to talk, because otherwise you'd be like, oh, cool, thanks, Galway. And Stream would be like, the fuck did he just say?
I do that backwards. I talk and Stream can hear me, and my players can't.
I've considered doing that at times, but I also have the ability to just
But then I'm
deafen
like,
people if I need to.
I'm safe to burp, and then it's like, oops, I'm not.
You're always safe to burp, Elise.
Thanks, Chris.
And so this is just now managed to drive everything of the question. Right, drow and sunlight. There's not enough sunlight in order to be able to tell. Silverlight does not affect a drow.
Okay, cool.
The big thing of this is artificial sunlight is, and this is something that Mix might well be the only one. Like, others might have some vague sense of it, but Mix would be the only one with more, at least even theoretical knowledge. Silverlight allows growing crops that depend on sunlight. We would understand they depend on sunlight. It allows the growing of various crops, and so it's normally used in like food production, and they're all luxury foodstuffs. Ironically, you'd be much more used to truffles because that shit grows in the dark, so you're fine.
Yeah. So silverlight mimics sunlight. It's very expensive. Only extremely wealthy have it in such quantity, kind of indicating the Duchess's status and wealth. And then nearby was the people that lady went and talked to.
It was so there was a woman that was basically berating someone she was with and saying, I could have brought anyone, but I brought you, so have a good time. And then she went away, and I went over to talk to this person that introduced himself as Samelin, and we had a nice conversation, and I asked him about working for her, and at the very, very end, I found out he does not indeed work for her. He's the head of what did I say?
The Justicars?
Yeah, in the Justicars, he's the Seeker Captain.
The Seekers.
Which is someone that could be very, very dangerous for me to know in particular.
Like they're kind of like the Black Ops or like spy division, right?
Of the spies, information gathering, arcane research much more. So they are... and the woman he was talking to, who was semi-berating him to cheer up and enjoy the damn party, which he did not appear to want to do, was a knight captain of the Justicars. So you are in the room with two of the senior members of the Justicars in Shattercrown. That's not a super comforting thought. It says, you just escaped them earlier.
Yeah. I'm very glad now that I did not ask him about the raid on the boat earlier in the evening.
Yeah. And then Gramps went looking for other Minotaurs.
And found...
Didn't find any, but I found people whose information I don't remember anything about because I don't take notes.
Viscountess...
Viscountess Agilbert Banks. They, them, halfling... who is a noble, their companion and consort, Miss Helene Tehar, who's a drow woman.
And she's the one I flirted with quite a bit and got her business card.
And you got her business card and
her servant's business card?
Her companion, Mr. Gerard Guest, who is an undefined friend of Miss Tehar. And he also, though you didn't have as much interaction with him, seemed very game for... Gramps generally. Helene Tehar, and you sort of ended up knowing some of these things. The relationship between Helene Tehar and the Viscountess is often remarked upon a little bit, and this is, you kind of know this from Scuttlebutt and the Gem Garden, because despite the fact that they are a noble and she is a commoner, they seem to treat her as a full partner. They are much more sort of open and public about their relationship than most people would be with just a consort. And she seemed very capable. She, in fact, you particularly, because it was you talking to her, got the sense that she was probably a slide. She is used to manipulating people and getting what she wants. So you also tried not to lie to her.
Yes.
Because you know how you can do that.
Right, so I kind of move my words around to still be telling the truth, but not actually reveal anything.
Yes. Hux, you were in the kitchen.
Yes, I went to the kitchen. I found out that Baron, oh man, hold
Aldworth.
on, Aldworth. Couldn't see in my notes. Baron Aldworth had yet to actually arrive. I learned this while posing as a person that was claiming to be a taste tester, basically wants to be the point of contact for all food that is to be delivered to the Aldworth family. And shortly after learning this, I decided probably best to go see if I could find the Count or the Baron. Yeah. And also, my spirit dog was able to successfully track down the crate that we had brought in.
It was making progress. You didn't think it was there, but it was following the scent. Still.
Oh, okay. Regardless, my astral dog did really good. And we learned that there's like a whole ton of wards and such on the residence, which has made it difficult but not insurmountable for my hunting beast. But yeah.
And Moo circled the party and got a sense of some of the goings on. Noticed Gramps flirting.
Yes.
And then you came across. Yeah, you came across one particular group of nobles who seemed displeased with the party life generally. They seem to be pretty much everything Mook assumes most nobles are going to be. Stuffy, really, really concerned with their own sort of petty shit because they're people who have never had to, go hungry.
Yes.
And that you didn't really get names there because you were just sort of, as a good spider, surveilling as moving, but even that much was getting you like hard stares from people in this group of like, move along.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were definitely not liking me eavesdropping.
And
for those of us that have leveled up, do we want to talk about what those
go ahead
level up things were? So mine, I just put a simple additional pip in my Ghost Hunter special ability, which enables me to take an additional item in that list. So I went ahead and took Mind Link, so now I can like see through the eyes and communicate through my astral self in a more direct way.
Which was useful since at the moment your astral self hound is somewhere in the manor.
Yep. And I guess we'll find out when we begin where that is.
Gramps, what did you level up with?
Stuff. I took subterfuge, which lets me basically once a turn resist a consequence from suspicion or persuasion, or to push myself for subterfuge purposes. So I can kind of do, when I need to do the things that I need to do, I can do it a little bit more consequence free.
Okay. More of the lying and
what is the opposite of subterfuge? Obterfuge?
Superterfuge?
None of those. It's a totally different word that has nothing to do with those things. I took Ghost Ward, I can wreck an area with arcane substances and methods, so it is either anathema or enticing to spirits. My choice. So hopefully a good combo with Lady's abilities.
Yes.
Very good. And I believe the ending board state was Mix and Mook were together, with Mix trying to essentially bribe Mook with snacks and alcohol to go talk to honored Lucia Kane to find out more about what the Justicars may have been up to, etc. You knew who she was all along. Lady grabbed Hux very suddenly as Hux came out of the kitchen to more or less be like, oh, we're in trouble. I've been talking to someone that I kind of wish I hadn't been talking to. And Gramps, with Miss Helene Tahar having moved on to other conversations, was looking around for someone else interesting, just as the music of the fete died out, and at the top of the staircase, the tall, sort of willowy figure of the Duchess Lillian Blogg emerged, beautifully dressed, absolutely arresting presence, which all of you sort of turned for her grand entrance, and then sort of that was where Gramps' focus was. We're gonna pick right back up there, and picking back up is the music of the party. Very gently, Duchess Blogg will walk down the first part of the staircase. It's a grand staircase, so like it comes down to sort of a mezzanine and then splits to either side into the ground floor where you all are. And there, she will sort of stop again. Yes, thank you so much for everyone attending tonight. I am very pleased to have arrived in this wonderful city of Shattercrown. I'm very pleased to begin my residence here. I am happy to share with you news and information from the capital, and I look forward to getting to know each of you more. And I do mean each of you. I believe Cedric, dear, the preparations have been made? And sort of not sitting, but at the base of one of the stairs, Cedric will bow slightly. Yes, you all would have noticed that you were requested to bring your servants, your valets. Please, I know that this is perhaps not the tradition here in Shadowcrown, but I would very much appreciate it if everyone here could take part in the parties. I know that you all have relatively simple masks at the moment. If you all would like, you could go and help yourselves. I believe Mr. Cedric Alantor, who some of you may have met, has prepared a great selection so that you could choose something that matches your personalities better. I will say, as you hear this, just to give a quick summary for each of you, and then you can see what you want to do with this. Gramps, you see another Minotaur walk in. He is a very large, very strongly built, but also now very heavy. Like, this is the thing of like the football linebacker who never quite lost muscle but got a lot of layers of fat over it as he got older. He also bears, you can see in his sort of rolled up sleeves, the scars and also some tattoos that would suggest to you that he is also a former Leviathan hunter and probably a captain. You don't recognize him from the Leviathan fleets, but you can kind of at least ping that. Mook and Mix, because you all are still sort of where Mook had ended up, that group of nobles, the sort of stuffy ones, the Duchess's declaration that servants are going to take part in this has turned them into just basically like a nest of angry bees. They are pissed that something like this would happen. One of them, the tiefling man, who was sort of holding court in this group, so to speak, is essentially like, see, this is exactly the kind of thing I talked about. She cannot come in here. This is not her city. So that's going on. Lady and Hux, near you, you see Cedric Alantor open a door. Not magically or anything. He's standing by a door. Sorry, I'm just like, that suddenly sounds very mystical. Like, I open a portal to another room, which looks like it's sort of the counterpart on the other side to where you dropped off the crates. So, like, it's a room that lots of other rooms connect to. And inside there, you can see just a huge variety of masks have been laid out. They are essentially sorted by color of mask. So it almost just looks like this spectrum of color, just as you have seen at the party. You all have been wearing relatively plain domino masks, so covering, the eyes, sitting down over the nose and up onto the middle of the forehead. But the party goers, the nobles, have been wearing all kinds of masks, some covering their cheeks. The Duchess wears a full mask, etc. And you see many more shapes now inside, every kind of color, every kind of decoration. And Cedric Alantor was like, those of you who are in service, if you would care to, please feel free to take this with our compliments. The Duchess Blog is very grateful for all that you do for the nobility of this city and wishes for you to be able to enjoy this evening. At this, the sort of hum of angry bees near Mix and Book sort of revs back up at the idea that they should be allowed to enjoy something. So you have a door. You can see various servants are beginning to sort of move away and head towards that door, apparently to pick out masks. As you're standing there, Gramps. Sorry, I was like, Rachel. Yes, but Rachel. Character name. Gramps, you can see that Viscountix Bank's attendant, like, they will sort of like, yeah, go, very quickly. And sort of that servant actually is one of the ones leading a group of servants that way. And what would you all like to do?
How close are Hux and I to that room?
You're probably, I don't know, 20 feet. Like, if you were right by the stairs from where you were talking to Samelin, it's
right
around that sort of, if you cross to the other side of the staircase, it's on that wall.
Okay. I don't think I'm going to move just yet.
Okay.
How, like, our clothing is borrowed. How, like, close is it to other people's clothing? Like, if we take these masks, will we be mistakable? Like, could we be mistaken for nobility? Or important people? Or are we, like, still probably pretty obviously servants?
It depends. Your outfits would be very plain because you were dressed in darker, plainer colors, though very nice outfits. But some of the nobility do have much less adorned sort of outfits. It would be possible. It would be potentially still tricky, but it's not like you have something that's just like, oh, well, no, clearly still a servant, because
Yeah. Wasn't Samelin dressed in pretty plain clothes?
That is exactly why you thought Samelin was a servant. His mask, which you can now see, is a very dark mask. It does have some decorative detailing on it, but it's minimal. And his clothes are very simple, black, gray. Like, they're nice, but so is everything you're wearing, and so is everything all of the nobility servants are wearing.
Okay.
You also kind of catch a view of Samlin, who is like desperately working his way towards the other end of the room from where Honored Kane is. Then seeming to sort of remember that he has something he's supposed to say to her and sort of like prevaricates for a moment, grabs a shrimp puff.
So two things. One, has Bug Dog Hux witnessed the Baron yet? Have I been able to spy him?
I got so hung up on trying to process what Bug Dog was. I was like, wait, do you have another hybrid pet? No.
We've already litigated this.
Yes, we've already litigated this. I now have fallen back. I remember. You do, however, see a large press of people coming in. Like you also note a Minotaur man walking in. So it seems like a lot of the guests who were milling around out front are now moving into this sort of atrium reception area proper. So if he hadn't yet arrived, then presumably the check-in would have included that outer area, but it's a little hard to track at the moment because you've got a couple dozen people coming in.
Okay. Second thing. Has my mind link already kicked in?
Your mind link is, we'll say it's coming online. You're able to now sense much more clearly the position, and you're almost, the way that I think narratively I'm doing this is that you're getting not a real-time feed, but you're getting like snippets of your hound's memories in the point leading up to now. And now you can understand that the thing you felt, the little bit of a jolt that you felt, was your hound while following the scent and having to focus very, very, very intensely because it's not a lot of scent on an object. Almost stepped onto a series of very elaborate wards, and then sort of had to like stop and process how to get around those. And so is still moving, but you do now also get the sense that your hound is in the upper floor on the east wing.
Is a hound ethereal?
Yes.
Yeah.
So would that not set off the traps, or not set off the traps?
The traps are for ghosts. They're arcane wards.
Okay.
And it was able to make it through them despite the fact that they're very strong wards, partially because it's not fully a ghost. It just has ghost-like properties.
Got it.
Your hunting pet is imbued with spirit energy. Yeah. Okay, cool. If Lady's still by me, I would let him know that you said Upper East?
Yes, upper floor, east side, which isn't part of the party, at least at the moment, from what you can see.
So, lady, my dog is, up in the second floor, not part of the party, but kind of over there.
And I point to the east.
Lots of wards, but I think I'm getting close to the crate.
That's good. I'm wondering exactly why would they take it up there? If it was supposed to be entertainment for the party.
That's what I'm fixing to find out.
Excellent.
Are you gonna get a new mask?
I don't know. Part of me just wants to say I'm not a servant. Part of me knows I'm in the service industry. So.
Well, I mean, wearing the kind of default mask would certainly kind of imply that you were.
Certainly would. Although I will tell you, I mistook Samlin for a servant because he is dressed very, very similar to me, and well, to us. And whew, so I don't know. Maybe I'll get a new mask. What about you?
I mean, you could get it and then at the opportune time, switch him.
I like that. I definitely like that. How
Yeah, I
about you?
think
You
I'm
want to
gonna-
pick one? Let's go.
I think I'm gonna get one.
Okay.
As they make their way towards the mask room. Gramps, what are you up to?
The Minotaur guy that walked in, what kind of mask does he have? Is he look like a noble mask or is it a servant mask?
So because you also spoke to Eileen Tahar and Gerard Guest, both of whom and got their cards, so you can see this, whose cards identify them as Miss and Mr. They have no noble title, but they still had guest masks on. So they had like decorated colored masks. So it seems like the invited guests have a decorative mask. The people who are there as attendants or servants had the more plain masks. The Minotaur captain has a decorative mask on. It essentially reaches down. It sort of is a domino mask, but then with a fringe of Leviathan tentacles that come down, and he has a braided beard that it almost like joins with.
Man, that's cool. I was gonna get a mask with tentacles on it, but now I feel like I'm gonna be jocking this guy's style. Okay, I think before I go to get a new mask, I will head over to that guy. Is he alone?
You've seen him sort of nodding and exchanging pleasantries with some people, but he doesn't seem to have anyone like with him.
When it just I don't know if I want to like strongly walk up to him or just like casually sidle up, you know? I don't know. I walk like this. This is how Gramps walks, you know?
A lot of shoulder action in the stride.
A lot of shoulders.
A lot of strut.
You just like knock over several people as you're going by.
I am going to just kind of casually walk over to him, and I'm going to choose a weird opening line, which we'll see how it goes, which is, oh, fancy seeing you here.
You'll see him sort of turn from the person he was talking to and sort of look, hi, yes, a pleasure to see another of the he's like looking you over, and again, you had opened the top of your shirt. I
have the pecs dance a little bit.
Yeah, but he's gonna see the your tattoo, etc., and pretty quickly figure out who I was like. A pleasure to see another who knows the Northern Sea here. I don't believe I know. Forgive me if I do. I'm terrible with names and faces, but I don't believe I know you personally, do I?
I'm offended. No, we've never met.
And he's gonna just like slap you on the shoulder. As much as you hang out with Lady, you're not used to being slapped by someone bigger than you. This does sort of like your hooves sort of across the marble floor as you just slide several inches to your
Usually
right.
I'm slapped on different parts of my body by people that are bigger than me, though, so this was jarring. I mean, Gramps, not Rachel.
Tell us more, Rachel. Tell us more.
We're all ears, please.
Yep. Come on, we're on stream.
Be
Let's
very
go.
detailed.
Please don't.
I'm Gramps. Why? I'm taking on your affectations of like her breathness.
was like, you're the
trying to
suave
one up him, like, oh, you want to be more macho.
Here's
I'm off kilter now.
You're the suave
It's not
centaur,
Rachel.
not the burly one. And he'll reach out and he essentially shakes your hand, but your arm the way a Leviathan hunter would, so like clasping his hand on your forearm. And
I
he's like,
tickle the inside of his forearm like tentacles, like the normal Leviathan hunter greeting.
okay, good. He's like, Dorvix Cashlaw, formerly a captain, now working in more the merchant side of things. Tell me, what brings you to this party?
I mean, I just love parties.
Ha,
So
fair.
many people. I couldn't keep my eyes off of you though. Another Minotaur, another Leviathan hunter.
Fair.
It's rare. What brings you here?
Oh, some houses that I do work with, shipping goods, etc. They wanted me here to demonstrate their capabilities in handling shipping. I think they're hoping to make contacts, or I don't know. It's stuff that money people do.
So it's more for business rather than pleasure.
Oh God, I hope not. No. That's their intention. I'm looking to get drunk as quickly as possible.
Agreed. And I'll grab a passing drink off of a tray and hand it to him.
Look, puts it on another tray as he's just like downed it in one. Yep.
Has he lied to me yet?
No.
Okay. Just checking. You wanted me to check in and grab
No, I appreciate that. No, everything that he said is true, certainly. With potentially the what he wants at the party.
If he also wants to get laid and he left that part out.
Maybe it does. What I was actually going to say is kind of the compliment to that. He does want to get drunk, but there's something else that he didn't say. So in order to make this ability not like entirely fucking broken, you can feel a little bit of like the big lies of omission.
Right, but so I can't be like, I know what he's not telling me.
So you know that he very much chose his words to avoid saying something, but you don't get, any sense of intention or anything else. And it may just be also from his entire manner that he's trying to play this off as, he's super macho Leviathan hunter. He doesn't have to give a shit about business contracts or anything. He's just here to have a good time.
And so I'm going to just, link my arm in his. I have no idea if he'll let me, but I'm going to attempt.
He doesn't stop you.
And I'm going to just say, okay, so I know only the people here that work at the Gem Garden. Tell me something interesting about somebody here. You seem connected. Make it interesting.
Something interesting. And he's gonna sort of like cast his eyes around the room as he's moving towards like the drinks table, walking with you. That one over there, the Count Hikers, and he's pointing at a tiefling man who is wearing very ostentatious clothes, a very ostentatious like purple and gold mask, is the center of the coterie that is being really, really bitchy generally, that Mook and Mix have noticed. The only reason that one would last on board a ship longer than a day is because even Leviathans wouldn't want to eat him.
Oh, interesting. Now I want to talk to him.
That would make you the first the person that he isn't paying that does.
Yeah, but sometimes if you're nice to disgusting people, you can actually find out interesting things.
That's fair, I suppose. None of my conversations with him have led to that, but I'm one of the ones he pays.
That's fair.
He's incidentally taking like tumblers, like sort of like whiskey tumblers, and just like downing them and like tipping them over like they're shots. And just sort of working his way down a row of the table. This is not apparently a sufficiently strong drink for him, so he's going to make up for it with quantity.
So with all that girth on you, how many drinks does it usually take to get you going? Listen, Gramps is suave, but he's also real awkward with questions.
Is there like, I mean, you should ask him, like, is there a sweet spot that afterwards that we can't get you going?
Oh.
He's gonna just sort of like take a very long look at you. And
I'm gonna give him a very winning smile.
You've seen this look. This is very much the look of like a Leviathan captain, like assessing a crew member. He's like, takes another one, puts it down. He's like sort of building the little like pyramid of glasses.
Nice.
Like, based on these ones, check back with me in about half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay, I'll hold you to that. And I'll unlink my arm and walk away towards the masks.
Okay. This is difficult to exactly pin down. He was lying about how drunk he's going to be in 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. So he's either going to be fucking shit-faced or still plenty sober.
And you're not sure. You just know that he was
right, not sure which.
within his interpretation of what you said, and this is open to interpretation, right? Because he's gauging what you were looking for. It will not be in 30 to 45 minutes. But he was being honest about the Count Corneal hikers. He does not like him.
Yeah, okay.
And thinks he's generally like fucking worthless.
Sure. I might definitely go up to him and have an awkward conversation opener as well.
Hey baby, come here often. God, okay, never mind. That could be the line, and it's going to get real awkward real fast. Mix and Mook, what would you like to be up to? You now see a place that you can change in your masks. Count Hikers is getting, though you do not know his name, is getting increasingly agitated by the fact that servants are going to be dressed somewhat like attendees of the party.
I think Mix will look to Mook for a cue here.
All right, so you want me to go talk with this woman who could throw us all in jail about stuff, right?
I mean, listen, do you want me to go talk to this woman who could throw us all in jail about stuff?
Well, I don't have to let them know I know you.
Like, I wouldn't name all of you. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that. I have a history of not naming my compatriots when I get caught.
Okay. Well, regardless. I think maybe we should change our masks so we don't. So maybe we'll look non-fugitive-ish.
You know how he's. Mix will follow Mook if like we start heading to the door and just kind of quietly, like right on your elbow, just like talking so quietly to you. You know how you were kind of saying that like maybe they wanted us to be like sacrifices? Isn't this kind of like the opposite of that? Like we're gonna blend in more with the nobility this way.
Unless the masks that they're giving us are poisoned.
Oh my God. You're so right.
I enjoy the fact that Mook has just made a right turn into constant paranoia.
I mean, they could. Okay, so maybe the masks aren't poisoned, but maybe they're clocking who's taking masks. I mean,
And
this just seems really weird. You heard those guys. Those guys are pissed that there are going to be servants among them.
But why does she want to do this to us?
I don't
Why
know.
does she want to do this to anybody? I don't.
Look. I didn't know that you liked throwing grenades at lightning towers until about an hour and a half ago. So I don't know anything anymore. I'm just gonna go see if I can find a cool looking mask and then
And breathe
maybe
in the
get some
poison
drinks.
powder.
You know, when in Rome.
Die like the Romans. Got it.
Yeah, but at least they were drunk. And then Mook's just gonna walk towards the mess.
Yeah, Mix will go and will absolutely examine her mask for any sign of sparkcraft or alchemy.
So
Yeah.
at this, you have all made it into this room. Like I said, it has doors connecting sort of to different parts. You suspect one of them leads back into the kitchens again. And just again laid out, there's just a huge variety of masks, all different sort of shapes of mask, lots of different colors, all different patterns and designs and decorations. So let us go ahead and take a moment, and each of you can describe the mask that you end up with, that you feel either captures you better or captures what you want to look like at the moment. And yes, I will not lose the investigating it for traces of iocane powder and or, like alchemical bombs.
Tracking bugs. We established those
Spirits.
might exist.
All that stuff.
Lice.
There are a bunch of other servants in here that you can see from that you do not know particularly, but who are sort of generally the tenor of the room is extremely excited. You would say that they're seeming to find this intriguing. Many of them are carrying on quiet, quick conversations, primarily about, as servants do, primarily about the Duchess blog and how impressed they are.
Lady came in here to get a mask, right?
Mhm.
Yep, you are all in there at this point.
I'll like sidle up to Lady and be like, I'm just saying, I could wreck shit in here and bring a lot of ghosts if we wanted.
That would be really fun.
I mean,
Maybe we'll use that before the end of the night.
I'll
You
hang
know what? And I yeah, so remember that guy that I went and talked to? Yeah, you know who he is?
You're about to rock Mix's world. She's not ready for this.
God,
he was
me as
like
the
a
player cannot remember
he
this.
was a servant who came with Honored Cane.
Yeah, no, he is not a servant. He is the Just Cars Seeker Captain.
He's the honored.
He's the what?
The honored Samelin Toka.
The honored Samelin Taka.
We might as well just die, Lady. We should just do the ghosts. I'm gonna do the ghosts.
I almost
We're fucked.
I almost asked him about what happened on the boat because I thought he was a servant. Yeah. I would have been putting a hoof in the mouth. Yeah.
And then
I thought
a
I was
noose around
making
the
a
neck.
contact. Yeah.
God, we're so fucked.
Yeah. But I don't. He doesn't have any reason to think I'm doing anything wrong. So
I'm glad
just
you didn't
another
go
servant.
barking up that tree.
Barking up that tree or the wrong tree?
That tree. That was the wrong tree.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
Alternatively, the very right tree if you made a good contact.
That's what I was hoping to do. I was hoping to get an inside to the night captain. But, well, yeah. He had to
So
go off
fucked.
for some emergency. So
About the time that you say this, from outside in the room, again, sort of chamber music, polite conversational hubbub, a little bit of angry bees noise from the direction of the nobles, cutting clear and very, very clarion over it. You just hear, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" And you recognize the voice of Honored Lucia Kane, and you see Samlin just sort of like frantically talking with his hands while also she's just like, "Oh, for where the hell did you squad docks now? I need a drink." And
What was the information that? Sorry, last time Samlin wanted to pass on. Did we find out?
You did not hear it. Lady did not hear it. A Justicar came in, gave him a report,
That's
and
right.
then it was the
Yes.
bowing and calling him Honored Toka that was like, "Oh shit."
Yes. Okay.
But you did not hear what it was from this. Apparently,
I
it was
wasn't sure if we were supposed to know. Yeah.
No,
okay.
no. Apparently, it was an update about something that was going on at the docks, which you have some context for. Honored Kane seems pissed. Samelin's gonna continue sort of like talking with his hands, and now you're seeing sort of soothing gestures. You also notice that he's fading back by like half a step every time he finishes a sentence. And as she sort of turns to address this Justicar knight again, he's just gonna be like,
how close am I? How close is he?
this
to
is
us?
a ways out. This is sort of out out in the main room where you're in the side
So I couldn't
room.
just materialize and say anything I can help with.
You've clocked where he's going. So you certainly could grab your mask and then head that way if you wanted to. So
Yeah, why not?
I'll say that that will be your sort of transition out of this scene. But so for everybody, what do your new masks look like? Because through the law of GM convenience, they are there.
Beautiful.
I'll go first. Mook is drawn to a mask that is sitting on the table it's a black lace mask, so the part that covers your face and your eyes and the bridge of your nose is a black lace. And on the right side, the mask kind of comes up to like a cat eye point. And on the left side, connecting to the mask are bright crimson feathers that kind of stick up on the left side, and they just kind of bounce off of her left horn. And then what's connecting the feathers to the mask is kind of like this onyx stone that just kind of sits there, and it's kind of like embedded in, and it holds the feathers onto the mask.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Hux's mask, because when you have a snout, it's hard to get a mask that's going to fit well. So he was relieved to have found a mask that is basically the top half of a knoll skull, and it's almost entirely black, but much like marble, it has like veins running through it kind of haphazardly, and they're all like white veins, so it's like this kind of jet black with white marbling veins.
Awesome.
Mix will look for and find something kind of like it's like clouds, but like storm clouds. And so it's a lot of like grays and whites kind of like wrapped around, so that like the bottom has like the heavier dark grays and the top is kind of the lighter white with like a nice silver lining, ha ha ha. And it's like storm clouds. And I think like some of the stitching is maybe in like a blue kind of like rainwater.
Very nice.
You want me to go next, Heather, or do you want another
I'm
minute?
torn. I'm thinking dragon or elephant with a really long trunk. that I could swing around.
Elephant.
I know. I just didn't know if Lady wanted to be funny, or I'll go with kind of a creepy elephant, and it's so covers like the side of my face with has big ears, and then the elephant face, and it's a half mask, but then the trunk comes down like very far, not to the floor, maybe to his waist, something like that. And it's a flexible trunk, but it is a black and gray. Elephants are gray, but this is made with not exactly a pattern, but kind of weird shadows.
It's almost like the gray for the patterning of like the elephant skin was put on a black underlayer so that it's darker than it would be if it was just that, maybe.
Yeah, and there's just something a little unsettling about it. But
Eldritch Fint. Good.
Eldritch Fint.
And
Me.
Yeah.
So I was gonna do. Well, it's fine. I think what I've landed on is the mask part is going to be really big, muscular pec, and the eye holes are where the nipples would be. And then surrounding it are buff arms, but like flexing like this, like around the pecs. Like you could just see these beautiful arms around it. And wrapped around the arms are Leviathan tentacles. So I've just got big pecs, nipple eyes, Leviathan tentacle arms.
Aren't you glad, rule of GM, this just exists now?
This just exists, right?
Yep. This is totally a thing.
Somebody's got to be a freak at the party.
This is totally a thing that a craftsperson has been commissioned to make on the off chance that somebody was going to want to wear this exact mask.
Yep.
I like to think the mask maker made it and slipped it in with all the other commission masks as like a joke, and Gramps was like, perfect.
You in fact find it like in a corner on a like under a piece of paper that's labeled like, no, seriously, what the hell is this? Where did this come from?
Yeah.
Outstanding. So we will I think transition quickly to ladies going to Samlin. The rest of you can think about what you'd want to do as you're sort of clearing the room. You now have changed masks. There's a variety of servants. You can see, I will also say, as you all sort of turn to be leaving the room, all of the servants you would guess are either inside sort of picking masks or have returned back to their groups. The Viscontix Bank's attendant has picked a mask that very much actually sort of emulates theirs in terms of color scheme and sort of general design sensibilities, and will sort of receive a nice pat on the shoulder from the Viscontix, and apparently a compliment from Miss Tahar. About half of the uptight noble group's servants have managed to break away to go pick masks, but some of them are still sort of being like, you will stay here. And are
we should slip them masks, totally.
still up, but you have sort of noticed where as Honored Kane is still sort of now essentially yelling out the front door at the Justicar, who is leaving, presumably to carry out her orders. On the other side of this main room, you see Samelin, who's sort of angling himself in behind the snack tables, and you make your way over to him.
The pretext of picking up a snack, and that seemed a little unpleasant.
It went better than I hoped it would, actually.
She certainly seems rather high-strung. But is there anything I can help with? Could run interference for you.
She's just gonna kind of like lean out, see that she's like, that might be nice. don't think I'd ever gathered you were one of those who went in to get a new mask at the Duchess' invitation. Who are you here attending? He's like stress eating shrimp rolls.
Yeah, this is the player pausing, not lady, because
Totally fair.
Presumably we would have some sort of a story, because I'm not going to say, oh well, we just smuggled, but as a group, we probably would have agreed on something.
I'd
to
say it would make
question.
sense to say like, oh, one of the gem garden houses, like catering, we came in with the supply chain of that, because we were suppliers, right? So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So I'll just say we supplied some of the catering. We helped the gem garden bring some of the catering in.
Oh, that makes good sense. So you all work with supply chains and things like that?
Yes.
Tell me, do you work directly for one of the houses, or are you contractors? He sort of like keeps like.
We're contractors, but shall I run that interference for you, or are you?
I would be interested in. As you've mentioned, the honored Kane is perhaps a little high strung at times, and that tends to lead to people being strung up. There are some answers that I need. I don't think I don't like using my titles. I prefer just getting to talk to people. I am the honored Samelin Toka. I head the Seekers for the Justicars.
I'm keeping a very straight face. Thank goodness for the mask.
I as you say, elephant trunk is just like quivers very slightly.
Yeah.
Honored Kane is a. You see him go to say a word, stop, stickler for decorum and keeping things within the Justicars, but I find that it helps to have local agents, shall we say, people who know more of the goings-on, and that people don't wet themselves when a group of them appear, which
I could imagine that happens often.
Which is not generally a strength of the Justicars. So perhaps more than running interference, if we could, I don't know, converse, there might be something I could use some assistance with capable individuals finding some information for me. Also, don't let her find me.
I'm a big person. You can easily hide behind me.
He's just sort of faded into like the slipstream of your presence versus where Honored Kane is.
Well, this certainly sounds like an interesting proposition.
Yeah. And maybe we're gonna cut there and then cut to everyone else who's in the room. What would you like to be doing coming out? And we will be taking our break shortly.
Well, now that I've got a new mask and Mix does as well, I will head towards this honored Kane.
Mix is so delighted with the...
Mix is going to hang back, like find somewhere where she can see the interaction, maybe hear a lot of it.
Oh, no. Mook will notice that, and Mook will grab you by your arm and walk with you towards Honored Kane.
She grabs the first drink she sees and chugs it. She's so nervous now.
And that's great, because as Mook sees you do that, Mook is going to pull a bottle out of her inside jacket and say, I've got us covered. And then you'll see me grab 2 glasses off of somebody's tray as we're walking by, and we're walking towards Honored Kane.
The door behind Honored Kane is going to just slam as she turns back in. She's like, God damn it. If it's not one thing, it's another. Sees you coming forward with like a bottle in your hand. You. I like you. Like, reaches back, grabs empty glass. Pour. Who are you? Why are you here? Please, I need something to distract me.
Well, I thought you might. Here, I do hope you enjoy a good 75-year-old scotch, because at a party like this, who can drink this watered down stuff? And I'll be pouring it and looking at her straight in the eye as I'm pouring.
She's gonna sort of pause. This is better then. Yes, good. I'm sorry, who are you again?
Oh, yes, my apologies. I'm Venomous. And this is my associate, Periwinkle. I hope Mix is doing the exact face.
She has the cloud mask up here, and it's just this horrible grin underneath.
Just frozen in this rictus of terrified joy. You're gonna see Honored Kane take like a long sort of slow draw from the drink. Periwinkle doesn't come to these kinds of things much. Do they?
No, they don't. It was almost like pulling teeth out of a leviathan to get him to come to this.
Is that a thing you do frequently?
Pull teeth from a leviathan?
Yes.
Only when I'm bored.
I sense you have marketable skills. Tell me, what do you do? Besides pulling teeth from leviathans when bored.
Well, to be honest, I'm a connoisseur of all things pleasure.
Ah, so with the gem flowers then?
Yes, when, the fancy arises.
Intriguing. But I noticed that you came from the room where they were handing out new masks, so you work for the gem flowers?
Well, to be fair, I work for me. The gem flowers like that. They want someone who can go in, get the job done, not ask questions, not stand around and ask for more work, but, I go do what I need to do, and then I go find something else to do. To be fair, I had a different mask. It was boring, and so I saw that there were more masks to go check out, and I found this one. I found it quite more alluring.
Indeed.
And Mook will play with the feathers.
Honored Kane's mask, actually, it would be on the right side, though, also does have, like, a sheaf of feathers. They're white. So this is actually, I remembered suddenly that I'd briefly described that last time. So you have a very complimentary mask to hers. She's like, yes, I can understand that, I suppose. Yes, very interesting. It's good to meet you, Venice. Periwinkle, your story.
I apprenticed at the lightning towers.
Okay. That's a good opening sentence. And from there?
I came here with Moot. Then okay, Mix would not have messed that up.
That's fine.
Please.
Okay, I was like, are you trying to do that as a
No,
as a character thing,
that
or are
was
you?
Elise, and I was like, fuck.
No,
Mix
you're good.
is very concerned with not fucking that
Yeah,
up. So
I 100% get that. I'm fine. Like, this isn't like a nope. If you've said it out loud, it's what your character said. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you're an apprentice with the Lightning Warders, and you're here with Venomous.
Yes.
Who you know
As a contractor.
Oh
I'm
my!
laughing.
I do apologize. Periwinkle is
Like trembling hand holds out her glass for more.
Periwinkle is. They're very well meaning, but they're a little slow. And you'll see Mook will just kind of be like slow.
I like that. I like that Mix isn't even like tipping her hand to drink. It's just like entire upper body rotates backwards. Oh God, alcohol.
And it's actually one of the most awkward things. Periwinkle here is an associate through the Gemflowers. One that they are actually trying to
Makes
get a
like
little more
tries to stand a little
socialized.
more sexy. turns a little, juts out her hip.
You're going to see
Ram
Honored.
sees this from across the room and is just like, what is happening?
You're going to see Honored Kane, like, who had turned back to Venmus to talk, pivot, look down, look up, pour from bottle into Mix's glass.
Yeah.
Yes, but anyways, you've asked our story. Now I gotta tell you, what drew me over to you, aside from the painstaking need of alcohol look on your face, there seemed to be a bit of a kerfuffle going on over here. And as I said, I'm really a connoisseur of pleasure and I prefer not to be bored. So I was hoping you could, change that.
The look in your face as you're saying all this too.
She'll sort of. The eyes have like remained trained on the glass that she just poured full of alcohol again. Back up to Mix's face with the pained grin. Back over to you. Yes, I suppose that was a bit of a scene, wasn't it? As you may have gathered from, I don't even remember what I was shouting. I am Honored Lucia Kane. I am one of the knight captains of the Justicars here, and one of the only members of Justicar leadership in Shattercrown who is from Shattercrown. And sometimes I find that my associates are less than understanding of the ways that things work here. The capital is not a port town. They do not understand the ways that things work in the fens and the docks, and the fact that it can be hard to figure out which boat something is on. It's fine. But let's settle for a rough day at work, and also, while I like these kinds of things, I rarely have a great time with these kinds of people. You'll see one of the nobles who you'd seen her sort of shark her way through the party to talk, and you're now assuming that this is just how she's been interacting with people, of just question. You're gonna see them like turn a corner, see her, and like duck back around to the corner. It's just like, oh shit, no, not again. Talk to her once. And she just sort of looks around like, yes. Tell me, what do you think of the Duchess blog?
Well, she seems a bit not boring.
Mix will say foreign. When Mook is saying she seems a bit, Mix will as like overlapping with you say foreign.
But, okay, so you were tying in and trying to say foreign?
But like with you, yeah,
Okay.
like not to override, just like, and then she'll just like drink more because she's picking up on.
So at the same time where I say
Kane's kind of like
not boring, and you're like foreign, and so it's kind of like
exactly. She just wants to kind of play up, like get Honored Kane to talk more about this xenophobia.
Gotcha.
Honored Kane will sort of flick her eyes between the two of you. I think that might be right on both accounts, though I do not know how much experience you have, Venmus or Periwinkle, with the capital. She seems different from those that I have met from the capital, though I suppose most of those I've met from the capital are Justicars, so that she certainly does not seem boring.
So would that be a good different or a bad different? And this whole time, Mook is drinking this scotch and making sure that Kane's glass does not go empty.
Kane is going to sort of stop. I don't know what type of different it is, yet it is not that the city could not use different, but different can cause ripples. And one of my jobs is to keep an eye on those ripples.
Ah, yes. The rocking of the boat when things are. And as I'm saying this, I'll turn and I'll look towards that group of nobles who were upset about the servants getting to be a part of the party. When things are a certain way.
Honored Kane has been generally sipping the whiskey so far. At this, she'll definitely take a belt of it, and she'll like pause and goes, "I have elsewhere I need to be in this party, but and will reach sort of behind her and hand you a card, which is embossed with silver on the edge. Like, you should drink again sometime because you are absolutely right about the ripples that are created." And she's going to shoot a very dark look towards the little nest of complaining nobles. And be like, "Venmus? Periwinkle?"
I will
They're not
hand her what's
unconscious,
left of
right?
the bottle. No,
You're
no,
standing
no.
so still.
No, they're fine. They're fine. Like I said, it's a socialization kind of thing. Technically on the clock, trying to get them a little less rigid.
She juts her hip out again.
That's not the place to start, dear. I might go with aggressive questioning. At that point, the smile would really just play into the fear, because they wouldn't be sure if you were going for the throat.
Oh.
But she will address a slight bow to each of you, and now, because you haven't really been close enough to her previously to hear this, see her like sight someone across the hall by a little bit, and Baroness Boulderdown, darling, Zzz. And is now again just moving at what is damn close to a jog in the middle of this party towards a very immediately like noble. And with that, there is once again a slight ting ting of a spoon being wrapped on a glass, and now standing in the middle of this sort of main hall area, you see the Duchess Blog tapping a glass, calling for attention. And let's go ahead and take our break there, because we're right about at the halfway point. We'll come back to that and some more of the Fete. I hope you enjoyed what has become, I suppose at this point, a tier trademark of In Any Longer Form series. There will be a fashion sequence at some point. Thank you all for the mask designs. And yeah, hope you're enjoying it. We'll be back in probably right around 10 minutes, so right around 8:45 Mountain, 10:45 Eastern. See y'all soon. And we are back.
Adorable.
And as requested, there's a stream sighting of T'Challa.
T'Challa.
He
And
is
you said he's only going to
adorable.
get bigger.
Yes. Yeah, he'll be 4 next month. All right, I'll put you down. Hopefully Chelsea's on. He will be 4 next month. He's currently 13.5 pounds. And Norwegian forest cats, males can get up to 20 pounds.
Wow.
Yowza.
So he a big boy.
So in the first half,
Do bench presses with your kitty.
I know. Okay, good. Chelsea got to see him. She's yelling in chat.
yes, good. So in the first half, the party continued as everyone sort of dealt with the routes that they had chosen, the conversations that they had had. The group changed out their masks as the Duchess blog wanted to make sure that everyone could more fully participate in the party and have things a little less stratified. And then from there, let's see, Gramps had chatted up the fellow Minotaur, who he's been told to check back in with in about 30 to 45 minutes, but that was a lie. You're not sure why. Mix and Mook had a conversation as Venmis and Periwinkle with the honored Lucia Kane, as Periwinkle is trying to learn how to pose and strut. It's going awkwardly.
It's fine. It's fine. We're all fine.
Lady got to track down a little bit more information and possibly a job lead from the honored Samalan Taka. And Hux is continuing his search for the Baron Aldworth, who doesn't appear to have arrived yet. And possibly also, as you're getting this, more images are appearing in your mind with your now mental link with your hound self. One of the things that's coming across is that the wards do affect the hound, definitely. Like, it was kind of doing it out of caution to not, touch them, etc. It has inadvertently triggered some that don't appear to be alarms or anything, but which do bar it off. Like, it forms an invisible ward that keeps ghosts from going through, and that does seem to affect it some. It hasn't lost the scent trail, but it's kind of having to reroute to try to get around those wards. And it's in sort of one of the farther parts of the east wing upstairs now.
Do you need me to, roll again?
No, I'm going to keep carrying the success. It's just that even with that success, it takes some time. It's a complicated route that it has to follow. I essentially treated that success as you're going to get there. There could be other roles that come in with the Spirit Hound, but in terms of it, the tracking and its movement, that will generally succeed, barring other things influencing it. So, exactly where we left off was with the sound of a spoon tapping on the equivalent of a champagne flute. And the Duchess blog now sort of standing. Yes, thank you all. I won't take too much more of your time. As you know, there is a dinner planned in roughly 2 hours. Many of the greatest chefs of the Gem Garden are going to be producing food for it. But before that time, I wished to provide an entertainment and a diversion through this time. I have not been in Shadowcrown for very long, but I have found its people to be welcoming and hospitable. As she's saying this, Mix and Mook, she is making direct eye contact with her very arresting purple eyes towards the group of nobles that clearly do not like her, and is just making sustained, fixed contact with this, like, it's not expressionless, it's smiling slightly, but just the fixed face of a mask, with the only sort of living image of it being her eyes. Gramps, that is a half-truth. You think that she generally thinks positively of Shattercrown, but you also pick up on the fact that she's staring very directly at people, and it's like, this is a message. You're not entirely sure what that is, but it's not a friendly one. I don't think you have sort of some of the context that the other groups have heard around this group. Although you do know that she is staring directly at the one that the Minotaur captain told you was absolutely worthless.
Okay.
So I forgot, you did have a piece for that. And you can see even underneath this very sort of ostentatious purple and gold mask, and like, think like lace ruffled like collars and sleeve, like wrist cuffs, etc. That kind of very ostentatious, fussy, sort of dandy look. And despite his dark red skin as a tiefling, you're fairly sure that you can see him flush, though with embarrassment or anger, you're not sure. And I wished to provide an entertainment befitting of the vision of the world that His Imperial Majesty has spoken of, that I think people still have trouble accepting. For Baruchia seeks to bring people together. Most recently with State of Malapin. But when old grudges, old divisions stand between us, Baruchia will never be united. Time and energy and effort, even lives, are wasted. Lives that are fleeting and quick, filled with many struggles, and with this filled with needless struggles, pointless struggles. It is not His Imperial Majesty's wish that this should be so, nor is it my wish. So, to that end, I want everyone here to enjoy this party. I want everyone here to see the kind of world that is possible when people are united under this vision and the possibilities therein. And with this,
Is she lying?
no.
Okay.
Nothing there triggered anything with a lie. And she'll sort of, with a wave of her hand, sort of velvet ropes that had blocked off the wings on the main floor are going to be pulled back by a couple of the servants. And she will sort of gesture. There are a variety of entertainments provided by the many wonderful houses of the Gem Garden. There are specialty foods that you may sample. There are other diversions of all types: music, performance, intimacy. I encourage you to partake of these diversions for the next couple of hours. You will, of course, be summoned when it is time. And with this, she will begin moving down one of the wings. As she moves, a huge coterie of various nobles, etc., are following, trying to get her attention, try to converse with her, etc. You see of the group standing around the Count Corneille hikers, the one who does not like her. You see a couple of his hangers-on kind of like look back and forth and then like scurry away to follow after her. He does not seem pleased.
How many people are around him now that some people left?
He himself brought 3 attendants as servants. No one else brought more than 2. And generally the people that brought 2 were like a couple brought like an attendant for each of them. He has 3 that are just for him. You can see his wife, who also has 2 attendants. So they've got their various attendants around them. And there are still several clearly guests who may or may not be nobility, with the presence of Dorvik's Cashlaw and some of the others that you've talked to. It's clear that non-nobles are also on the guest list, but he does have other guests around him as well, probably 3 or 4. I'd only say a couple broke away.
Mix will stand there after this speech, and like as the hubbub comes back and the noise is kind of rising again in the room, she'll very intentionally drop her glass so that it shatters on the ground and go, oops, and then she'll just turn around and walk away back to the kitchens.
Very good.
James would like to... Oh, yeah, sorry.
No.
I was just going to say, Gramps, I think, would like to walk over to that Duke guy that nobody likes.
Yeah, you walk over to this. As you get closer to him, the flush is definitely anger. His normally red skin is now just like dark, ruddy red. He is staring daggers at the couple of nobles who have walked away from him, and is just like,
just gonna hold out a drink and just say, you look like you need a drink.
I need a great many things. Alcohol is a decent start.
I noticed you from across the room.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. I get the feeling that you're not very popular here.
Damn, Gramps don't pull no punches.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna, like, in mid-sip, see him stop and his eyes sort of roll over to you.
I don't mean it as an insult.
And what would give you that impression?
How do I put this? The fact that there's a wide berth around where you're standing?
You're gonna sort of see the eye that slid over to you, like, look around.
And it can't be your lovely wife over here. She's ravishing.
She'll sort of, his wife is human. It will sort of arch an eyebrow at you, and you notice, like, the eyes will definitely, like, linger on the unbuttoned shirt.
Part of the face pecs get down to the chest pecs.
Yeah. Face pecs, face arms, actual pecs. Don't move to actual arms.
Fair.
He'll sort of... They are imposed by my importance to this city.
And what would that be? I'm so unknowledgeable.
In one of the sadder uses of this, you know that he's lying. I am the Count Corneille Hikers. I am from one of the oldest families in this city, as I'm sure you are well aware. I have
I
my
got the vibe of old from you.
Oh,
Wow.
fuck! I gotta meet.
he's like, he's gonna sort of look at you. Good? Yes, we'll say good.
Fantastic.
My family have been either served as Lord Mayor or been in the Lord Mayor's Council since generations ago. I am one of, obviously, the leaders of this city, and I find this woman's, the Duchess's, arrival and perhaps lack of familiarity with our customs and traditions to be difficult to adjust to.
Yes. Youth and newness can be so hard to accept, can't it? Everybody prefers the old and stodgy ways. Much more comfortable to slip into an old sweater, right?
I'm beginning to be uncomfortable with the direction of these metaphors. I'm sorry, who are you?
Oh, hi, I'm Gramps.
Oh, that
I
explains
saw you from across the room, and
that explains the positivity about the old thing. Yes, okay. That now makes sense. That tracks.
We're kindred spirits, practically.
Let's not get ahead of anyway, is there I
I usually prefer getting behind. But what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I don't understand that. At this, the servants are sort of going, is there something I can do for you?
Oh, I just thought you looked like you were here for interesting conversation. You seem so welcoming.
Well, it is the role of the nobility to be so, yes?
What would you prefer? Would you prefer the Duchess not even be here?
For a member of the ducal class to arrive in our city is a wonderful note of how important the city of Shadowcrown is to the Empire, and is a prospect that would be welcomed by anyone who loves the city. This is just all lies.
Now, what if we tried that again? But you told me the truth this time. Just a thought experiment.
Why is he talking to me?
I was waiting
one
for somebody to kick me out of the conversation.
He's just now like legitimately looking around. As you've been doing this, incidentally, Gramps, you're holding his attention, and sort of he was with that last speech no longer at the sort of back holding court. He had sort of moved to the front of this, so you can see sort of his coterie much better than he can. One of the remaining nobles has taken this opportunity, or guests at least, to slip away and follow the Duchess's group, as you have gotten him very confused. The servants are looking some mixture of mortified and deeply amused, that probably that you're not dead yet, or like being called for like your arrest, and also the fact that he's just completely oblivious to some of the things that you are saying.
I'm sorry. I thought that we had something here, and I was really interested in everything that you were saying. I didn't mean to upset you. I just want to know how you really feel.
I certainly have always hoped that Shadowcrown would be graced with a member of the ducal class, though I will admit that in light of my family's long service to the Empire, I had some hopes that perhaps the Hiker's House would be created to the rank of Duke
Wouldn't
or
it be
Duchess.
better to ingratiate yourself to the new Duchess rather than fight against her?
No one's fighting here. No one's fighting. It is a fun party at which we are all having a good time.
I was watching you from across the room, and you were generally a nice cherry red, and you were a brick for a little while. It's a lovely tone.
Thank you. He's gonna sort of look at you. I think that this conversation has run its course for now, but he'll sort of hesitantly reach up and like poke at your arm, which is, extremely well muscled. I could have work around these issues for one with your ability to tear someone in half.
I do practice that on occasion. If you have a card, I'd love to take it.
You're gonna see him. One of the servants will present a small silver tray that has a purple inked card with gold embossing on it.
3 cards. And I'll take it.
I like that Gramps is doing this like it's a fucking like stamp convention. Like, yeah, got another one. Everyone else is pursuing plots and schemes. Gramps is out here playing Pokemon.
It's true. It's taking everything in me not to just bend over and ask his wife for her card too. But I think I've already gotten away with enough with this man.
And as you sort of walk away from this gathering, it's like, no, seriously, who the hell was that? Why was I talking to? I don't understand. What is happening? Where's?
Everybody wants to talk to me.
Look here. Where's the Viscount? Son of a bitch!
I'm glad I was good cover for somebody to be able to get away.
Yeah, so Mix, you've headed into the kitchens. As you've headed in there, a servant sort of has passed you, and will make their way past you and come to Hux. And Hux will be like, yes, sir, I was dispatched from the kitchens to tell you that the Baron Aldworth has made his apologies that he will not be appearing, though I believe his son will be. Are you taking over tasting duties for him?
Yes, and this last one was too salty. It would most displease the Aldworth family.
I am terribly sorry. I will ensure that the caterers that produce that are not hired again and or are told to reduce this. I'm not really sure what to do here. Glad it wasn't poisoned. Going back to the kitchens now. But I believe that I really forgot what I named the kitchen overseer. I'm realizing that I named that NPC and it's gone.
Don't know that any of us remember at this point.
I don't have it in my notes.
Kitchen overseer wants to speak with you.
With me?
Yes, I believe that there was some, with a change in arrangements with who from the Aldworth family was attending, he wanted to confer with you.
Fair enough.
Galway, would I recognize the Baron Chapman by would I recognize them?
The Baron Chapman?
Yeah. He's the person that Aldworth claimed had something to do with his son.
Probably not. Actually,
Okay.
you potentially could if you'd looked into it, like because there was an entire incident around this, so you might have looked him up in one of the sort of registers of nobility, etc. So I would say that you might have seen images of him because you've done that, but it's not like you're personally familiar with him. And barons are one of the lower ranks of nobility, so there's a fair number of them.
Okay. But is it possible that I would have clocked him before now, like in the party?
No, you have not seen him so far.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Okay, I'll go meet with the sous chef, overseer, whoever that is.
The person that I was exchanging the letterhead documents and stuff with, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you make your way back there. Let's see. Mook, with your partner in crime having dropped her glass and left, what are you doing?
When I almost said periwinkle. When Mix dropped the glass, I would have stepped to the side, and then when I saw that she just kind of like left, I also just kind of like went in the opposite direction, and I continued to kind of just mingle around. I did not follow the Duchess, but I did I do want to go towards this pleasure room,
Sure.
the entertainment room.
Yeah, there's essentially as you now proceed down. So if you went the opposite direction, you're going down the east wing. There are a variety of rooms. It's basically a long hallway with doors opening off of it, and yeah, sort of all through there, you can see the equivalent of like private chef selection tables, like in place of, oh, here's just this, there are caterers from the Gem Garden who are just preparing stuff with the selected ingredients, catering to small groups. There are essentially in some of the rooms miniature plays being performed. There's art, like essentially live painting going on. You do see there is one door with an attendant standing outside of it that you, from having seen one of the members of the Gem Garden who was there, would suspect is contains some of the sex workers from the Gem Garden. So it is just it is basically the Gem Garden recreated in just these hallways.
Interesting. Where, when all of this, everybody kind of separated and everything, would I have been able to tell where Honored Kane, which direction she would have gone in? I know she went to go talk with somebody, but then the Duchess started talking, and then everybody kind of started going places.
She, as you saw it, was continuing to harry the woman she'd called to, the Baroness Boulder Down, who was heading to the west wing, essentially following the Baroness, the Duchess. The Duchess, yeah, sorry. It looked like, but you're also not sure if that was intentional or if it was the Baroness was like, oh God, Jesus, get me out of here.
Trying to get away, yeah. Okay, yeah, I just kind of wanna, I'll start with food and drink and like kind of just mingle my way through kind of like each area, and I will end up circling back and coming back to the sex worker room.
Okay. Sorry, it's just Rachel's.
Rachel's like, that's my room.
And lady, Honored Samalin took a sort of like looking from side to side. It's like, please, I don't wish to distract from your enjoyment of the party. I would be more than happy to meet with you about business later. I may just find...
Whatever you like. I'm finding this rather amusing. In a awkward sort of way. I don't mind running interference or being your blocker.
That's good.
But I would like to meet with you.
Yes, and he'll sort of like absentmindedly like pat a coat. And you know, you've seen enough of these like carefully pulling out cards. He's going to like pull out a small scrap of paper and like write Samalin Talk, and then just like a small address, like if you present this to someone, and like he'll inscribe a glyph on it, they should let you in to see me. I think I have the right one.
Is there a preferred time?
Whenever is convenient for you. I try to generally be in the office. Though you, you seem far more confident and capable in many ways, perhaps, than I am. I do wonder if there's one thing that you could help me with.
Ask away.
Yes, very good. And he's just sort of been walking across the sort of room as you've been talking, sort of milling. And he's going to stop, and you're just going to sort of see his head crane ever so slightly. And then with a enormous amount of agility, he's just going to sort of vault his way up the stairs. Could you please follow me and don't have people follow you?
I will do my best. And it's roped off.
The top leading to the wings it's roped off starting at the second floor. It was unroped off so that the Duchess could come down.
Okay.
So you have a clear path up the stairs. You just have to not be seen.
Okay. So I would, I guess, look around and see if people are, paying any attention or if they're distracted. And if I think I can get up without being seen or having my hooves clatter too much. Is there a role I should do?
So if you're trying to remember, if you're looking to, where the hell are you? Action rolls, because that's the thing that has the good quick reference.
Finesse, prowl, skirmish, wreck.
I would say survey would let you look around and try to see if there is a good moment.
Okay.
Prowl is movement unseen. So that would be more just focusing on the shit move. Sneaky.
Okay. Well, I've got 1 pip in each, so I might as well go straight for the prowl, I think.
Okay. Yeah, so it is a prowl roll. I'm gonna say that this is definitely a risky maneuver. And it has I'm gonna argue whatever it is, greater or like enhanced effect, because people are generally pretty distracted. So you think if you can avoid the initial attention, you should actually be able to get pretty far.
Okay, so there's standard, limited, and then great.
Great.
So you're going great?
Yeah.
All right. And I only get 1 die. Oh, God.
You can.
I can push myself, can't I?
You can push yourself, which is 2 stress, or you could accept a devil's bargain, which is I lay out something very complicated, or something that's going to complicate your life down the road, but you take no stress. You just get the effect of pushing yourself. And I can tell you what the bargain is beforehand if you're potentially.
Okay, sure.
The complication that you're going to incur with this devil's bargain is more than you.
Wait, this is before I decide if I want it, right?
Correct. What you will incur if you accept this devil's bargain.
Okay.
Your general demeanor, your willingness to go along with all of this, your capabilities, and like being like, okay, this is what we're doing, put you very firmly in Samalantoka's mind. That is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does mean that you are interesting to him.
Okay. If only I could stay interesting in a good way.
That could be a valuable resource.
Yeah. I'll take that devil's bargain.
Okay, so you get +1 die from that. You cannot push yourself as well.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Oh, please. Oh, wait. Did it already roll? Because it just... Okay, I was going to say because it went back to risky. Ooh, 5.
Success with a complication. You move. Well, okay. I know what I'm going to say. You succeed. You make your way up the stairs. You're quite sure that no one has seen you. As you sort of are getting to the top, you can see now already standing, stepping very delicately over the velvet lanyard is Samalantoka, being very careful not to touch anything. The complication that you will face, which remember you can resist, so I'll just describe what it is first, and it's a complication, not a harm. You quickly made up your mind that moving quick was going to be more stealthy than like trying to like slide through the shadows the way maybe like Mook or Hux might. It was more go for the dead sprint. And as you kind of landed at the top, the complication is going to be you've left a very distinct hoof print. It's not that it alerts people, you didn't like clatter on anything, but someone checking would probably be very able to tell that a minotaur had been upstairs.
And there are at least 3 minotaurs
Correct.
at the party, right? And so do I notice this so I could rub it out? Or
the
is this something that...
the complication would be that you don't, basically. We'll just say that you don't. You can resist it, but... Because if you resist it, you don't leave it. And above the table, you can make that determination. But I'm going to say, in order for it to be a genuine complication, you're not going to notice it because it's occurring several stairs from the landing. You're just booking it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, boy, I have a boatload of stress already. And it's 1 stress to resist?
It is, you roll the relevant resistance. And it's 6 minus your highest die roll. So it is between 5 and 0 stress.
That could put me directly into trauma, so I am not going to resist.
Okay. You make your way up. Samelin will sort of help you over, not that he needs to, you easily clear the thing. Like, he had to step up and over, you just basically take a normal stride and are over the rope. He goes, I believe that the object in your right breast pocket is a spirit mask. That would potentially be useful to put on at this juncture. I
will swap masks and give him an interested look as I do so.
As you do that, you can see that this hallway is incredibly warded.
Mm-hmm.
And he is very carefully and sort of deftly moving between them. This suggests one of 2 things to you. Everyone can attune to the ghost field. You don't need specific training. You don't need to have a spirit mask, etc. This either means that he is so capable at attuning to the spirit field that he can see the wards without the use of a spirit mask, or the mask that he is wearing is in fact a spirit mask.
Okay. Was the spirit mask in my pocket somewhat obvious? So, like, if someone knew what it was shaped like, they would be able to guess what it was? Or do I feel like there's something fishy going on?
It would be possible. You'd have to be extremely observant.
Okay.
He is also functionally the head of the spy wing of the Justicars and Shattercrown, so this doesn't seem out of the possibility for you. You are once again kind of in that moment of, oh shit, who have I been talking to?
Yup. Okay. Now, I couldn't see the wards without my mask, right?
Correct, though you also hadn't tried to attune in order to see
Okay.
them. So you didn't know they were there, so nothing triggered you thinking of them, really.
Yeah. Okay, but clearly he knows I'm a whisper. So, all right. I have it on after giving him a look like, how the hell did you know that?
He sort of smiles back at you and keeps moving forward. Mix, you are in the kitchens. That was the last stage direction I had, so I'm like, I do not want to assume what you've been doing.
I don't think she's doing much. I honestly think, like, maybe she'd just go back to the boat. And because she's kind of, her mood has been spoiled, we'll say. And yeah, I think that's probably
Okay.
all.
So you're sort of just moving out, maybe out towards like the servant quarters, etc., which was on the way towards the boat. Hux, you make it back into the kitchens. Before that, you can see again this sort of overseer. That is very busy. He's very, very occupied with something. And this mental link that you have kind of finally fully clicks into place. The Spirit Hound knows where the crates are. The Spirit Hound is unable to get into the room with the crates. The wards are too complete. But it's a door at the end of the hallway. Like, it can't be another room. At least
Is
the
Spirit
route.
Hound... Sorry. Is Spirit Hound invisible?
I mean, I don't think there's it has ghost form, so I would assume it can like disapparate or
It
whatever.
can somewhat disapparate. If someone is sensitive to the ghost field, it would still be visible. Ghosts can sort of push through the ghost field into our everyday reality, which is when people like paralyze or run away. But if you're attuning, you basically would always see it.
Okay.
It's just not very common for people to do that. I mean, even you as a whisper weren't looking for there to be wards, so those are wards that more or less exist in the astral or the spectral plane. So
right.
That would kind of be the example.
Now, I guess what my question is, like, the fact that there are serious wards located around a room that is housing our crate, is this typical sort of, precautions for high quality objects, or is this like only reserved for, certain kinds of materials?
This is not typical. This is not usual, certainly. The other thing that suggests to you that perhaps this is not typical is that your spirit hound, which, while is a part of you, is also sort of its own separate agentic or, observant being. It's been charting its own course. Is going to sort of, it's communicating with you mentally of the like, the thing I'm hunting is in there. I can't get to it. The wards are everywhere. Like, it's just across the doorways. There's no wall I can slip through. The end of that hallway is blocked to me. Also, that's probably a bit of a problem. In the door frame, you can see a fingernail.
In the door frame that
past that would be where the crate is.
there is a fingernail sticking through the door frame?
No, in the door frame, as if someone had been clutching the door frame and then had been pulled in.
Chris, you're muted.
I know.
Okay. Having seen that and knowing the location and how to get to it, huh. Yeah, I know. So Heather just types a point out in chat that the Spirit Hound would possibly be able to get in when the door is opened. I think like what I would have the Spirit Hound do at this point would be to basically like get into a place where it's not going to be easily seen, so it can like view this hallway and make sure there's not any activity. And then I think my plan is then to try to find a party member. I know I most recently saw Mix, but Mix wasn't in a good mood and we're not on super great terms, so I'm probably going to look for somebody else. And so, whoever else that I see, I'll warn them like, hey, this is like, this is serious. It's not just, someone's got something of high value that they're protecting kind of deal.
Yeah, that would probably next be Gramps, who has left.
Okay.
Flirting with?
So Gramps' musk, I'm sure, is a very, pungent odor, so I probably got there quickly.
Gramps, just the person I was looking for. How's your party been going?
Wait, where are we?
You're still in the front room. Essentially, you've just this is timing out to roughly after you've walked away from the noble who you just infuriated.
For some reason, I thought that he was like further somewhere, so that I was very confused.
No. He had never gone to
suddenly-
either of the wings. He was just sitting there fuming. You basically went over and friend-tagonized him, and then have been sort of maybe
Called
even
negging.
trying to figure out where everybody else has gone, what's going on,
Oh right, I just meant like Hux too. For some reason I thought that he was.
No, Hux had
further.
bounced to like the kitchen and then has like come back out because the Spirit Hound, who is far away, has discovered something unpleasant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going lovely so far. I've met quite a few interesting people, gotten a lot of cards.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that you asked me, but you don't actually care about my answer.
Oh no, I do. But
Are you lying to me?
listen. What? Huh?
No, this is Rachel asking. Are you lying to me? Gramps can tell.
I mean, I think like Hux generally cares about what you're saying, but he does feel like what he's saying is more important.
Fair.
I don't know how in depth your lie detection goes.
I was gonna say,
No,
I think
I
it's it's not a lie. The general sentiment is true. Also, he's thinking about something else.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I know where the crates are, and, oh boy, lots and lots and lots and lots of wards, and not the kind of wards that are just, oh, we've got something of high value, something real dangerous. There's scratches and claw marks and fingernails in the wall. Door
But
frame.
wasn't it our job to just drop off the crate and not care about what's inside it or where it went? If we want to be respected as smugglers, isn't it our job to not snoop around for what we're smuggling?
Yeah, but I couldn't help. I had a real bad feeling. And it's been validated. And
By what?
this is giving me bad vibes, very bad vibes, and this is
Validated
not the kind of
how?
thing that you would just keep in your manor. You know what I'm saying?
What is it? Out with it.
I don't know the specifics, but it's not good. It's spiritual. It's they're warding off. Like my dog can't even get in.
Does it feel like something dangerous for tonight for us here?
I mean, if it wasn't for tonight or for here, why would they keep it here?
Well,
When
the Duchess lives here, right? So.
Well, it's real dangerous. I don't know why she'd want to keep it in her place.
I just don't know what it is. I appreciate you coming to me and telling me this information, but I'm struggling to follow the vagaries of it. I want to be on the same page with you, Hawks. I do. I've had a lot to drink, and I want to understand what it is you're afraid of, because right now it just seems like a warded crate, which doesn't seem like a big deal because we are secret smugglers.
I love that this conversation is happening in the hall of a party.
He's gonna grab another drink from somebody that walks by. Drink it.
Has my dog heard or seen any activity beyond witnessing the fingernail in the door frame?
No.
Is there any sounds or
There are
anything?
some sounds coming from behind it in the hallway.
Okay.
I like that Heather's camera froze exactly there.
Yeah.
It was so apropos.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I don't.
I'm just going to say
is it
to
okay with
I
you?
might-
Is it okay with you if I just keep my third eye, so to speak, on the general vicinity, just in case something happens and we can get out if we need to real fast?
No, that sounds like a great plan, as long as you're not trying to break into the crate area, because that sounds
I mean,
like
I'm not gonna. I'm purposely not trying to set off any alarms.
Okay,
but
good, because I worry about our business. We're just starting out as a crew, you know? We need to be trustworthy. We don't want to deliver a package and then be seen trying to get it later. It feels like it won't go well for our brand.
That's a different crew.
We're on the same page, but we're on the same page. But it's a real bad feeling.
Listen.
Yeah.
I think that you should take your bad feeling and you should talk to Mook about it. Because I feel like she would know better what to do than me right now. Because right now, all I'm thinking about is genital. That is what is on my mind. And I know that you're saying that something is happening, but we're not there. You're here and I'm here.
Okay.
And I want us
Here
to
is
meet, not in
genitals.
that way. But yeah. It's just that this is a party and there's so many beautiful people here.
I
And
get
even
that.
non-beautiful people I don't judge or care. And like I said, and I take another drink, I've had a lot to drink. I met another Minotaur, which is exciting.
Oh,
Isn't that exciting? He's even bigger than I am. Ooh,
I don't believe that. Not one
I
bit.
wouldn't have believed it if I didn't feel him with my own eyes.
Oh
With
man.
the pecs going on, that's the whole special thing.
Oh god.
There's something going on in the vicinity of the room.
There's something going on in the vicinity right here, Hugs.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
And with that, I think we have hit a very good segue. Mook, you have sampled your way down the various specialties of the gem garden, and you have made your way to the end of the hall. And the attendant like, yes, you wish to partake of the House of the Silver Swan? Which actually is one of the companies that manages the cruise that you go on.
Oh, yes, definitely. Of course.
Of course, very good. Leads you in and sort of up a staircase that is in the back room. And we're going to pivot away for a second because drawing some threads together. Not Heather, Lady. You and Samelin have been working your way down this hallway very carefully. At the end of it, sort of around a corner, you can see a vague outline of a spectral figure that is somewhat familiar to you. And you're going to sort of see Samelin stop.
Mm-hmm. I will stop along. I'm not going to act like I recognize it.
You're going to see him.
I see it.
You're going to see him from a side pocket take out essentially what looks like an ice pick, which is slightly electrified. And you would know that lightning sparkcraft dissipates spirits.
Like, dissipates as in kills, or
yes,
dissipates?
Yes, dissipates as in kills. It's like,
okay,
I can take care of this.
I would at that point. So he's not moving closer, right? He's intending to do whatever he's going to do from here.
Yeah.
Shit. I'll say, shouldn't we wait to see what it's gonna do? It doesn't look like it's doing anything.
He's giving the biggest puppy dog eyes on the face of the earth right now.
Just giant, like,
Just wanna play
ghostly
fetch.
puppy dog.
So the spirit dog knows we're here then.
Yes, and
'Cause
recognizes
my intention
you,
was to
certainly.
warn the spirit dog so that they could
Spirit dog
make an
away.
escape. Yeah, spirit dog away.
Nice.
They'll sort of. I suppose that if someone has put in these resources and it's not immediately raised an alarm, it's probably not 100% bad thing for us. All right. This last part feels tricky.
Okay, and by the way, how should I address you? You introduced yourself first to me as Samelin and then Honored Tukka, and now I'm a little confused. I'm not sure.
Samelin is fine.
Okay, Samelin, thank you.
I don't like using my title, but Honored Kane insists on it for decorum and keeping roles and responsibilities clear.
I see.
And he's going to move forward to essentially the edge. So now this figure is directly next to the spirit hound. Just sort of look down. whoever's on the other side there, I would suggest that you be careful with who you share this information with. And he looks like he is going to begin picking the lock. The wards around this are incredibly intricate. They are, you know, the spiritual nature of the dog. It is not a geist. It is not an actual ghost, but it would 100% not be able to get through, and that is some very high level of warding.
Okay.
With a click, Semlin opens the door and will sort of step across the wards, and work. Looks like he's working his way into a darkened room.
I will very carefully follow.
You step in. On the other side of the room, you see, in dim light, Mook.
Oh, I thought you were saying I saw Mook.
Yeah.
Or I do. Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
You see Mook, who is apparently cresting a staircase. And you see sort of dim figures in this medium-sized room. And standing in the middle, you see a very tall, willowy figure with her back to you. And Mook, you see the masked face of the Duchess Blog, sort of facing you. So you're on either side. The three of you are on either side of her.
Wow.
You will hear in a very quiet, pleased voice, "So good of you to come. Please kneel and don't make a sound." The three of you standing there will immediately do this unless you resist.
Does Samuel
Does the spectral dog kneel?
The spectral dog is not able to see or hear anything from them as soon as they are on the other side of the wards. Like, it is like when Semlin steps across, his leg is just like phasing out of existence from the dog's point of view.
Okay, so did the Duchess say this, or did somebody else say
The Duchess.
this? And she's expecting Mook, Lady, and Semlin to kneel?
It appears to be. She is addressing those of you who have just come in.
Okay, but wasn't I being led up a staircase by somebody?
Yes, by the attendant for the House of the Silver Swan, who I will again highlight, like, mechanically, you're gonna do this unless you resist. But as whether you're resisting or doing this in just your peripheral vision, you see the features of that attendant's face change, and Cedric Alentor is standing to your right side.
Resist.
Okay.
I'm planning on resisting.
100%.
No, what? Get info. You're definitely gonna die though.
Transmit posthumous info. You're good with the ghost shit.
Yep. Hey, I'd be happy
so-
to be a ghost.
Kneel and silent, or resist.
Too stressed for
Mook
resist.
right the whole time that there's going to be a
is-
sacrifice.
It is.
Knew it. How do I
Not to
resist?
stress, you
What
would
do I
be
do?
resisting with sorry, I need to go to
Oh, it's a roll.
it's a roll. It would be your resolve would be the resist. And it's your highest die result plus or 6 minus your highest die result. Stress.
Okay.
Wait, what? I don't understand that.
So the word resolve is the measure by
What
which
I
you would
click.
And we
is
can
what you would
choose
click.
whichever. Oh, wait. We need to click resolve. I don't
Yes.
pick from underneath it.
No,
Right.
it's a resistance roll is those things that are up top. The number of dice you roll will be the number of pips in the first column, so the number of different skills you have. So if you had attune, command, and consort, you would have a resolve of 3, and that means you'll roll
great.
3 dice when you resist. The amount of stress you take from resistance is 6 minus the highest number you roll.
Okay. I will roll resolve then.
I will too. I still don't quite understand the math, but I'm just gonna roll anyway.
Basically, it ranges from at minimum you take 0 stress, at max you take 5 stress.
Okay, and there's no bonus die. Is there a way to get a bonus die?
No, resists are.
Can you push yourself?
I don't think you can with a resist roll. Those are.
Okay, so no bonus die.
Okay.
6. So you resist with no stress. Mook, you take 3 stress, but you resist automatically works. You resist, but it's just how much stress you take. In place of following the command, kneel and be silent, you are both paralyzed.
But can I still talk?
A little bit. A little bit. Lady, you wear the spirit mask as all whispers do, partially in emulation of the grave wardens who deal with ghosts and spirits. It helps focus your attunement abilities, and it allows you to not freeze or flee in the face of ghosts, where anyone else has to like harden their resolve to even be able to not just go stock still or run. You don't have to. You don't even have to make a roll.
Right. But I'm frozen now.
Some ghosts can push beyond that and make it like it's a roll. This is something that is orders of magnitude beyond anything you've experienced. You're going to see, as sort of the darkness of the room, your eyes adjust to it. You can see the other shapes that you saw are various members of the party. The Viscountess Agilbert Banks is there, kneeling and silent. A couple of the nobles from the assorted nobles who you didn't really recognize in the retinue are there. And you're going to see her. There are about 4. These 4 are ready, Cedric. And he'll just sort of bow. You see in the corner a crate with its top taken off. And he'll sort of reach down. You see what could best be described as almost a slug-like object that is emitting a faint purple glow. And he's going to walk over to the first, who is one of the ones from the foppish nobles court who broke away to follow the Baroness, and just drop it into his mouth. And you're just going to see the man sort of curl up and then twitch and shudder, and then when he looks back up, his eyes are entirely white. And in front of you, Mukul, in front of both of you, between the two of you here. I see you have some spirit. Standing. it is always good to be reminded that mortals have such capabilities. You should be honored. Few ever retain their senses in the presence of seduction of the Legion. Let me get a better look at you, dear. And the masked faces sort of peek at Mook. And you, dears. As you look on, lady, the back of the Duchess's head opens. You just sort of hear... And essentially what happens is her face just pushes through backwards, so that now violet eyes are staring at you. She will take steps backwards and an arm will sort of come back, and the joint just keeps going back, and the hands are going to bend backwards until the fingers sort of caress your face. Yes, so good to see those with spirit. Prepare them, my servant. And you'll see Cedric bow. And outside, as Mix, you stand sort of stalking your way, kicking at every bit of the lawn that you're able to get to, back to the boat. You get a sudden feeling. The hairs on the back of your neck kind of raise, and the only time you've been able to think of this has been when you were near the Sparkcraft engines. These sort of great engines of generating pure spark energy. You know, these aren't the things that are even mounted in the towers. Usually these are the things that power stuff in the town. There's the equivalent of like a dynamo in a power plant. And you hear very faintly on the wind, Mix, a sound of cracking. And as you look back to the windows, in the sky above, you see a pattern that the color of it almost makes it look like Sparkcraft, but you know somehow it isn't. It is cracks in the sky itself, almost in the shape of a great wheel of 12 sections etched into the sky. And then within each of those sections, you can see a myriad of these other patterns. And then the entire thing shatters with an enormous, deafening sound of glass breaking. And from inside the house, you hear a piercing, unearthly scream. And that's where we'll wrap up for tonight.
Typical Galway.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in.
Fucking knew you had the Cthulhu shirt on for a goddamn reason.
It always means something.
Look, I knew Mook was right. I knew it.
So Gramps should have listened to Hux?
Probably.
I
Just where
mean,
you
Gramps
are.
would have just been in the room getting slugged, I think.
Slugged.
Yeah, purple slugged.
And he can flirt his way out.
Thank you so much, everybody, for playing. You had a good time. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Hope you all had a good time. I have embarrassingly, despite the fact that it is my own game, forgot the next time. There, scrolled up enough. We'll be doing this next, or we are scheduled to do this next in a couple of weeks, Tuesday, March 1st, starting at 9 p.m. Eastern. We will come back to a 3-way party split. With some of the members of the party in significantly less danger than others. Yeah, I hope you had a good time. I hope we have enjoyed this fete. Yeah, we will be back real soon. As always, from all of us here at Helpful Goat Gaming, stay safe, be well, take care of yourselves and of each other. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.